They say the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he doesn't exist. But what if I told you his influence is everywhere? From ancient scriptures to hidden messages in history, the devil's story is far more twisted than you think. Was Lucifer really an angel of light before his downfall? Does 666 actually mean something else? And could the devil be walking among us right now, without us even knowing? Get ready, because today we're uncovering 10 chilling facts about the devil that will make you question everything you thought you knew. But be warned, once you hear these secrets, you might never look at the world the same way again. Here's a deeper exploration of these 10 chilling and thought-provoking facts about the devil, expanding on the mystery, history, and cultural impact of one of the most misunderstood and fascinating figures in human history. The devil's name means accuser. The name Satan comes from the Hebrew ha-Satan, which means the adversary or accuser. Originally, Satan was not the embodiment of all evil, but more of a celestial prosecutor. In the book of Job, Satan isn't portrayed as an enemy of God, but as a figure who challenges human faithfulness, questioning whether people truly love God or if they only do so for rewards. Over time, Christianity and other traditions reshaped this character into the ultimate villain, the fallen angel who opposes God and tempts humanity into sin. Lucifer wasn't always evil. The name Lucifer means lightbringer and is often associated with Satan's origin story. The Bible describes him as an angel of immense beauty, wisdom, and power before his pride led to his downfall. In Isaiah 14:12, there is a reference to the morning star falling from heaven, which was later linked to Lucifer. However, some scholars believe this passage was originally about a Babylonian king rather than a literal fallen angel. The association of Lucifer with Satan became more prominent through later Christian interpretations, as well as literary works like Paradise Lost by John Milton, The Devil's Greatest Trick. You've probably heard the famous quote, "The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist." This idea, popularized by the Usual Suspects movie and inspired by the 19th century writer Charles Baudelaire, plays on the concept that true evil works best when it's unnoticed. Many believe that the devil operates not as a red-horned beast, but as a subtle force, whispering doubts, corrupting thoughts, and manipulating people into believing he isn't real. The philosophical angle of this idea suggests that evil flourishes when people stop recognizing its existence, making them more susceptible to its influence. Hell might not be his home. Popular culture often depicts the devil ruling hell like a fiery king, but biblical texts paint a different picture. Satan is often described as roaming the earth, tempting humans and engaging in spiritual warfare. In Job 1:7, when God asks Satan where he has been, he replies, "From roaming through the earth and going back and forth on it." Additionally, Revelation 20:10 states that Satan will ultimately be cast into the lake of fire, implying that he does not currently reign over it, but will be punished there in the end. The image of Satan as hell's ruler is more of a medieval invention than a strictly biblical one. The number 666 isn't what you think. The infamous number of the beast, 6666, is one of the most well-known symbols associated with the devil. But did you know that some early manuscripts suggest the real number might be 616 instead? In ancient numerology, names were often converted into numbers, and many scholars believe that 666 was a coded reference to the Roman Emperor Nero, who persecuted Christians. In the Greek numbering system, the letters in Nero Caesar add up to 666. Meanwhile, some Latin translations suggest 617 might be the correct number, pointing to another interpretation. This means that what we see as an eternal symbol of evil might have originally been political propaganda hidden in Scripture. Satan has had many forms throughout history. Satan has been depicted in countless ways. In early Christian art, he was often shown as an angelic being, or a serpent. During the Middle Ages, his image evolved into the classic horned, red-skinned figure inspired by pagan gods like Pan. In literature and film, he often appears as a sophisticated tempter rather than a monstrous beast. Think of Mephistopheles in Goethe's Faust or Al Pacino's character in The Devil's Advocate. Charismatic, intelligent, and persuasive rather than outright terrifying. Modern depictions of Satan, like in Lucifer, Netflix, or Supernatural, continue to explore this idea of the devil as a charming figure rather than a grotesque monster. The Devil's Pact. Selling your soul. The idea of selling one's soul to the devil is one of the most famous themes in folklore. The most well-known story is that of Faust, a scholar who makes a pact with the demon Mephistopheles in exchange for unlimited knowledge and pleasure. But this concept existed long before Faust. Many musicians, from blues legend Robert Johnson to rock stars like Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin, have been linked to the idea of making a deal with the devil for fame and talent. Whether true or not, these stories continue to add to the devil's mystique. The devil has a queen? Some legends claim that Lilith, a dark and mysterious figure from Jewish mythology, is Satan's wife. According to some myths, Lilith was the first woman created alongside Adam, but she refused to be submissive and left Eden. She was later associated with demons and seduction, and in some traditions, she is seen as a consort to the devil. Though not a biblical figure in Christianity, Lilith has become a powerful symbol of rebellion and independence, often tied to Satan's own defiant nature. Some believe the devil is a hero. In John Milton's Paradise Lost, Satan is depicted as a tragic figure who chooses to reign in hell rather than serve in heaven. His rebellion against God is framed in a way that makes him almost sympathetic, an individual who refuses to bow down to authority. Some later thinkers, like the Romantic poets, saw Satan as a symbol of freedom and resistance against tyranny. However, others argue that his character is a warning about the dangers of unchecked ambition and pride. This idea of Satan as a misunderstood anti-hero continues in modern stories, from Lucifer TV series to the Sandman comics. You might say his name every day. Did you know that words like luxury, lucid, and illuminate come from the Latin word lux, meaning light? This is the same root as Lucifer, which means light bringer. This linguistic connection is ironic, as Lucifer was once associated with divine light before becoming a symbol of darkness. The idea that the devil's name is subtly woven into everyday language adds an eerie layer to his influence on culture. The devil has fascinated and terrified humanity for thousands of years. Whether seen as a literal being, a metaphor for temptation, or a misunderstood rebel, his story has been told in countless ways. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not whether the devil exists, but how much of his influence is already embedded in our world. So, what do you think? Is the devil the ultimate villain, a misunderstood figure, or something else entirely?